welcome back to talk about it with Shawl and Key. Welcome. So, yes. What we got this time?
This message is actually called ovulation, and it started from a word that the Lord had my husband release to me. He came downstairs, and I was sitting on a couch, and he said,
"Want me to go ahead so I can tell them? Might be for them too." So, ovulation it happens like I guess like a couple of weeks before the menstrual cycle. It's a certain time that you have to be deliberate and intentional about getting pregnant. Mm-hmm. Like that's what people do. Hey, it's ovulation. We need to get it on so we can do whatever. So we can try to get this baby. So what I was saying to you was like this season is like this time is like your ovulation season, your time. You have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate. You have to be steadfast. All these things in this season because it's only a short amount of time. If God is trying to get something to you in this season, you have to be, or you're trying to get something in this, or seeking something in this season. You have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate because there's a set amount of time for it to happen.
Yes. And when he said that to me, I mean, it just hit my spirit so much. And I said, this is not just a message for me. I said, but it's a message for you. And I felt like it's also a message for the body of Christ, that there's a appointed time for certain people. They are in different stages of that ovulation time. So what I mean by that, so there are certain days within that ovulation time, within, that time for you to be able to conceive and to, so that the sperm meets the egg and then that baby will grow within that belly. So I believe that what God was sharing with me personally, and also some other people may grab a hold of this word, is that now is the time for this, whatever that thing is that you have been seeking God for, or you've been wanting to do. This is the time. There's a lot of time, like my husband said, that God gave him. That word for me was, okay, now during this particular time, and what happens is it happens every month, right? Yes. There's a certain amount that time of ovulation happens every month for the woman.
Yes.
So I remember, okay, let me back up before I go there. I'm gonna finish that point before I go to that certain amount of days.
Yes.
So you have that time that God is granting you to do, or to even just pray through. It could be something that He wants you to pray in this particular timing. This time, I want you to go in and I want you to begin to speak these things that you want to manifest. This is the time that I want you to decree these things or proclaim these things that you want to happen, whether it's in your family. You want salvation for your son. You want your prodigal to return back to Christ, or you want your children to open these businesses, or you want these children, or whatever it is that God has had for you. I don't know what that thing is, but I do feel like this is a word for the body of Christ, for whoever will grab a hold to this word. But also I wanted to say this. When I remember when I was younger, this may be too much for some people, but I'm just keeping it real. When I was younger, when I was ovulating, I could tell, because it would hurt. It would feel like it. It would feel like something's going on, and then I would know I'm ovulating now. Sometimes it is a painful process, is what I'm saying. Ovulation doesn't always look like, I mean, it's a miraculous time, because the body's producing. I mean, the body's getting ready. If the baby is ready if you're ready to conceive, the body is getting itself prepared so that that sperm and that egg come together, it can produce this beautiful baby. So what I'm saying is, I would feel that pain when I was ovulating. So what I'm saying to you is, it may be painful. The press in, let's say, for example, you're praying this through during this time of ovulation. That this thing that God has placed inside of you, you're praying through, and it is painful. Tears may come. You may go into groaning and moaning and travailing, because you want this thing to come to pass.
Right.
And you want to make sure that you are in that timing, for this baby to be able to be conceived, so that the appointed time, the birthing can take place.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. Don't you think you can tie, well, ovulation, not ovulation, and fasting could be kind of the same, kind of sort of, because I say, like, for example, you're on a you set a fast for a certain amount of time. Doing this fast, you're intentional and you're deliberate about what you're seeking God for. And that's painful, because you're going to have if you've been drinking a lot of caffeine, you're going to have them headaches. You turn down that plate, you're going to have them stomach pains. So, but in the end, if you're deliberate and you're intentional about doing this fast and seeking God on this fast, couldn't that be like a correlation they could go?
I say it could be.
I think so too.
If that is what God is saying in that time.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be also you've just, some people maybe it's a business that you already started.
Yep.
You already have a business, but God is telling you, okay, go ahead and make it official. Go ahead and incorporate this business.
Yeah.
Let's get this LLC, and this is the time that I'm telling you to do it.
Yeah.
You need to do it within this time, because what's getting ready to happen is you're getting ready to take off.
And
it's
if you
getting
ain't
ready to
right,
grow. It's getting ready to produce
Yep.
fruit, and you don't have the things in place. Then you got to wait till next month.
Yeah. Or next year, or the next 5 years, or the next 10. It just depends, because everything is not predicated upon each month.
Right.
It could be like, I mean, sometimes, people can miss things and it may not come back around again for another 5 years, or it could come back around the next day.
Could be.
It just depends. But you just have to make sure that you have set yourself in a position where you're seeking God, you're intentional about it, you're listening, leaning in, making sure you're hearing God and what He's saying to you in that season.
In this season of ovulation.
In this season of ovulation.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's it.
Hey, that's
I'm
all
done.
I got. You done?
I'm done.
You sure?
I am done.
Because it looked like you wanted to say something
I'm
else.
done.
You positive?
This is so good. Yeah, this was
all
really
right.
good.
Hey,
I
till
bless
next
God.
time. God bless.
God bless you.
All right.